Start ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
Sir. Hi, good morning, everyone. Today we are going to talk about DNA digital data storage. The demand for data storage in device is increasing by day as more and more data is generated by every single day. As of now, we can see that over the past decade, the data generation has been more and more because each and every data we want should be for backup for each and every data that we have been generated. But the situation is the data storage become an extent because we are using the hard drive or the basic optical disk or portable hard drives or pen drives to store the data. One or the other day, this would become an extent. To give a solution for that, we can come up with a new technology. For example, if we use for cloud computing also for storing and retrieving our personal data from our own internet area, and inspect in the cloud computing also the data is stored in physical device somewhere or any other data center like that. These places are often they are called server farms, which are essentially data warehouse filled with the servers running with 24 bar 7 up to 365 days. But one or the other day, this would become an extent or a whole data center would be filled with large amount of data. To give a solution for that, for storing of the data for long extent of time, for storing the data for several thousand of years, we have to come up with a new technology to store our data. In spite, if we there is some technical damages on data centers or any other devices, the data would be completely lost. If the some small amount of liquid or any other liquid material will get into the storage devices, the whole data would be corrupted and the entire data would be lost. To give up a solution for this, scientists and researchers have been they have been trying to develop a robust way of storing the data, where we can use the DNA to store the data. There are many reasons to use DNA, such as storage medium, because it is small in size. Just 1 gram of DNA can store 455 exabytes of data, which is nothing but the data generated up to more than a year, 455 exabytes. Since the DNA is a robust material and it has a long shelf life, the information can be stored and recovered after 1,000 years also. So that's why a DNA technology can be implemented for storing the data. And the next question arises: what is meant by DNA? How the working of DNA and how the data will be stored in DNA? And for all that, let me give a brief introduction about what is meant by DNA. DNA is a deoxyribonucleic acid is a hereditary material in humans and almost all organisms we can form DNA. The information in DNA is stored as a code made up of chemical bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Human DNA consists of about 3 billion bases, which are the chemical bases like adenine, ATGC. The order of sequence of these bases determine the information available for building and maintaining the organism. Similarly, the way of letter of alphabet appear in certain order to form words or sentence. The order which we represent this AGCT to build an organism, we can represent the same adenine, guanine, and cytosine thymine in the for our characters also, which can store the data. DNA pair up with each other with A with T, C with G to form a unit called base pair. Each base is also attached to the sugar molecule and a phosphate molecule. Together, a base and sugar and phosphate are called a nucleotide. A nucleotide is nothing but like yes, in the left side of the diagram, we can see that stands like ladder-like structure, which are nothing but sugar and made up of sugar and phosphate molecule of adenine, guanine, and cytosine and thymine. Together, nucleotides are arranged in two long strands that forms spherical-like structure called double helix. This double helix is somewhat like familiar with double ladder-like structure. An important property of the DNA is that we can make a replication of the DNA easily. If we, in the present scenario, in our traditional data storage in optical disk, copying of the data is nothing but exactly similarly copying the same data to another storage device. It is it is nothing but the use of the again the same storage device, which will be not very useful for us. So if we use the DNA technology, we can replicate the DNA easily, so that if the loss of any one DNA, we can easily replicate if the replication has been done for that DNA, we can easily retrieve the data if the present DNA is also lost. Kind of data is stored in human. It mainly stores human eye color, hair color, or genetic information that will be carried out from one generation to another. Our attitude, our behavior, or personality, all these information will be stored in the human DNA. Uh, this will a good example how to store the DNA information, and this justifies that DNA can store the information also. We have referred five different papers for the presently how researchers have been going on to store digital data in DNA. First, I have referred the paper of storing digital data in nucleic acid with the extended genetic alphabet, which is proposed by Saptarshi Biswas and other authors at the year of 2019. Here they propose a new scheme of encoding digital data into genetic nucleotides of sequence, which demonstrate the use of non-standard nucleotides also. Which is the non-standard nucleotides means ATGC are developed in the laboratory itself by artificial synthesis by using the both both natural and unnatural nucleotides. They have developed an scheme for encoding the data to the DNA. Another paper they were referred is coding over sets of DNA storage, which is published in the year 2019. While encoding the DNA, there might be some sort of error may occur also, like substitution error, deletion error, insertion error. Substitution error means in spite of ATGC, some code other like at place of T, we can substitute thymine or cytosine. The substitution error may also occur. To overcome all this error, they have proposed a coding of sets of DNA using the two technique called Barshamo lower bounds and a spear packing upper bound technique, which will be help for the correct error correcting codes. Another paper is construction of bioconstraint core for DNA technology. While developing a DNA artificially, we must satisfy the two biological constraints. One is maximum polymer limit, and another one is balance content of balance GC content, balance guanine and cytosine constant. Without considering these biological constraint, we cannot able to generate DNA artificially. We must consider these two constraint, and we must develop an encoding technique which satisfy the both biological constraint. We in this paper they propose work on two biochemical constraint homopoly run limit and balance GC content. Another paper, this is our base paper, DNA digital data storage. Here they propose a new scheme which satisfy the both biological constraint as well as they propose a new work called data compression can be achieved using this technology also. They've used a separate delimiter usage because by storing different files, we must indicate which is the end of file. For that, they have used the delimiter technique also, so that we can randomly retrieve over the required files from the DNA. If it doesn't indicate the delimiter, we can't able to retrieve which files from which file will be stored at which sequence of DNA like that. So by considering all this, this technique would be better than all technique they have used. Other technique is optimized course design constraint DNA data storage with asymmetric error. Here they propose work on say substitution error. Just a minute. Substitution error using the VLRLL and LDCP code techniques. VL means a variable length run length limited codes, and LDCP code nothing but low density parity check, which are the two different technologies they have used to suppress the error occurrence in the synthesis of DNA. The slide is not moving because of some technique.
ವರ್ಷದ ಏನಾಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಹಂಗದು
ಸರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್
ಓಕೆ ಆಯ್ತು ನೋಡಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು ಇಶ್ಯೂ.
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಲಾ, ಕಾಣುತ್ತಾ? ಹಲೋ ಹಲೋ
ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ ವರ್ಷದ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅದು ಪವರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೋ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ,
Hello.
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ. ಪವರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೋ ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಇದು ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೋ
ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಮಾಡಿ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
ಯಾಕೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೋ ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ?
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೋ ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು.
next we discuss about how the procedure for storing our data in the form of DNA. Yearly, there are mainly 5 techniques which should be there for encoding our digital data and storing our data in the DNA. First technique is data encoding, in which our data is encoded in the form of DNA strings like adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. And this DNA string, using these DNA strings, we can synthesis our DNA in laboratory medium. Here, while encoding, there might be some error can occur also, like deletion error. Where here we can see in deletion error in place of cytosine chemical bases may be deleted while encoding technique. While in some cases, additional nucleotide may be inserted in place of another nucleotide. And substitution error in spite of ATGC, like ATCA, other nucleotide may be substituted. By considering all these error, we must develop a new encoding scheme which must be overcome all these error, and it must satisfy the biological constraint also. By considering all this, we propose a new solution for a DNA sequencing technique. In DNA sequencing, they retrieve the encoded DNA and they will generate the again DNA. Again, they will generate the DNA string. From the generated DNA string, they will perform the decoding technique. From the decoding, we can retrieve our data back to original data format. Now, proposed solution. First, the digital data is converted into binary code in the form of binary representation of the code. If we consider any character sequence also, like characters like AB, but each character consists of 8-bit code. We can represent the code in the format of binary code. And if you consider any digital files also, like any JPG image, each data will be in the form of pixels, which are nothing but the data is encoded, data is represent the form of zeros and ones. Those data, all the data should be first represented in the form of binary code. Then this binary code will be encoded in the form of nucleo base code. Like we will see that 00 for A, 01 for C, 10 for G, 11 for T. By using this technique, they will encode the whole binary code information to the nucleo bases. And using these nucleus bases, they will synthesize the DNA. And after synthesizing for retrieval purpose, they will perform sequencing, where the from synthesized DNA, they will generate the nucleo base code. From the nucleo base code, again they will decode it to binary code. From binary code, we can generate our original data format. For encoding and decoding technique, we must propose a new solution which must satisfy both biological constraint and error correcting codes and data compression. All these three can be achieved in our proposed solution. In our proposed solution, we are using the Huffman tree algorithm. In this algorithm, let me explain this algorithm. For example, consider a sentence which consists of occurrence of A letter is 42 and E letter is of 11. F frequency of occurrence of F is 12, C is 5, D is 10, B is 20. In this sentence, first we will generate the occurrence of the each and every letter. For again later in further process, C for generation of min heap tree, C and D is combined. First it will be combined. 5 plus 10 is equal to 15, and it for leftmost tree it will be represented by 0, and for rightmost tree it will be represented by 1. Again, the least code for the frequency, they will be form the combination. Occurrence of E and F will be 12, which will be combined to form 23. Again, the list is 15, and occurrence of B frequency is 20. Again, we follow the combination for this, and we can achieve 35. Again, similarly we will follow the whole technique to generate the Huffman min heap tree. For example, if we consider our previous structure, if we want to encode our a occurrence of a letter, a character A consists of 8-bit ASCII code. If 42 into 8 we will perform, it will generate up to 350 something bits of data. If we perform Huffman tree algorithm, we can encode the data in only 1 bit. For example, if it can be represented at a letter can be represented as 0 bit along with 42 occurrence. 42 into 1 is equal to 42 bits of data is enough to represent the A. And for occurrence of E, 001 will be the Huffman tree, will be the code for the E letter. 11 into 3 bits is enough. 11 into 3 is equal to 33 bits of data is enough to encode our E. Similarly, for all those F, C, D, B, and for all these code, we can perform the data compression also. Here the algorithm specify, here we create a leaf node for each unique character and build a min heap tree for all leaf nodes. Min heap is used to use a priority queue. The value of the frequency field is used to compare two nodes in the min heap. Initially, the least frequency character is at the root. Exact two nodes with the minimum frequency from the min heap. Exactly two nodes will be retrieved from the min heap, and we create a new internal node with a frequency equal to sum of the two node frequency. Make the first extracted node as its left child and other extracted node as its right child, and we repeat the second step and third step until all the heap contains only one node. The remaining node is represented as a root node, and the whole structure of the tree will be completed. Using this technique, we can encode our data binary code in the format of ATGC representation, which follows the following methodology. For encoding the data, form the frequency table of characters of data. Now the Huffman tree for non-repeating nucleotides for encoding is generated as the following step. Each node in the tree will have at most will have 3 children. The weights of the branches of the tree will depend on the incoming weight of the parent. If incoming weight of the parent is A, at that point C represented as a leftmost child, G represented as the middle child, and T is represented as the rightmost child. One of the chance that if the incoming branch of the parent is C, at that point G is represented as a leftmost child, T is represented as middle child, A is represented as rightmost child. If the incoming branch of the is G, at that T is left, A is represented as middle child, C is represented as rightmost child. If the incoming branch is T, A is represented as leftmost, C is represented as middle child, and G is represented as rightmost child. And T will be considered to be an incoming weight for the root node. And our now we will split the whole data into overlapping segment of 100 nucleotides with an offset of 50 nucleotides from the previous step. From that overlapping segment, form a pair of segments starting from the first segment of the data. From the first segment of the data, we are going to index pair from 0 to 107, and after 107 again we will start from 0. And when the whole data is reverse complement second segment in each pair. Only the second segment will be reverse complemented. The index will be of 4 nucleotides long. The index is encoded by the combination of nucleotides in a sequence of ACGT, such that no consecutive nucleotides are same. By using this technique, here they have been achieved the biological constraint, because balanced contents of GC contents will be achieved from the 7th step, where the combination will be considered only only will AC will appear or GT will appear. No two nucleotide will appear again and again. Later, next step, prepend A and append C to the first segment of the pair, and prepend T with T and append G to the second segment of the pair. And each segment now synthesis actual DNA strand of length of 106 nucleotides. And length of 106 nucleotides also satisfy the biological constraint also, because it is not crossing the limit of homopolymer limit, so that we can achieve the biological constraint also. By using this technique, we are achieve the data compression also. By considering all these methods, our proposed solution will be better than previous solution they have given. For example, in the literature survey, we have studied that in first paper, here in the schema they have used natural nucleotide also and unnatural nucleotides also, in which they have represented the each data in the 12-bit format, where by representing each data in 12-bit format, the data will become big enough. So for character A itself, taking 12-bit, if the occurrence of character is say more than 100, and how much bit will be taken will be depend on the data, and data will be so much big, so that encoding and decoding will also become more complexity. By considering all this, proposed solution is much better than the previous solution. In artificial DNA synthesis, single stranded arbitrary DNA can be synthesized chemically in laboratory medium. Here, on the basis of digital sequence of data, each nucleotide is added to the adjacent nucleotide. The efficiency of artificial DNA synthesis is 99%. Here they use TAQ DNA polymerase enzyme, which is used to the synthesis of artificial DNA. Next step of DNA digital data storage is storing of the sample. Now we have our data backup in the form of liquid drops of several nanograms of DNA. This DNA can be stored in a deep freeze where it can last more than 1,000 years also. And next, when by representing the data in the form of DNA, we can also perform replication of the data, which use the PCR technique, which is nothing but polymerase chain reaction. In polymerase chain reaction is an inexpensive technique which can be used for replication of the DNA. Here in this sample, first they will sequence the whole DNA into two days. Double stranded is converted into two different single strands, and after that they will artificially synthesize the single stranded DNA, and they will form the combination for both divided DNA, that is splitted DNA, and they will synthesize the two different copy of the same data. By using this technique, we can make several copies of the DNA. After sequencing of DNA, our next step is decoding the information. Now the decoding process is simply the reverse of the encoding process. If the first nucleotide of the DNA will tell whether the DNA is first or second segment of the pair, or whether the data is reverse complemented or the not the directionality of the strand. If the first nucleotide is A, then remove the first nucleotide. Next 4 nucleotides will tell about the segment number, and next 100 nucleotides will be our the data. The last nucleotide can be used for confirmation of the type of segment. If the first nucleotide is C, then reverse the whole segment and remove the first nucleotide. Next 4 nucleotide will tell about the segment number, and next 100 nucleotide will be the data, and the last nucleotide will be confirmation of the type of segment. If the first nucleotide is G, then we will reverse the whole segment, remove the first nucleotide, and next 4 nucleotide will tell us about the segment number, and we will reverse the whole complement next 100 nucleotide, and these 100 nucleotide will now be the data. The last nucleotide can be used for confirmation of the type of segment. Similarly, we follow the next step. If first nucleotide is T, we will remove first nucleotide. Next 4 will tell us about segment number, and reverse the whole 100, reverse complement next 100 nucleotides, and these 100 nucleotides will also now be the data, and the last nucleotide can be used for confirmation of type of segment. If in the segment, if you found occurrence of TTT sequence is found, this will denote at the end of file, which can be used as a delimiter purpose. And if we found the delimiter purpose, it will indicate as end of file. Now we can retrieve the whole sequence data as an original file format. Now by using Huffman tree, data can convert it into original characters. By using the Huffman technique also, we can achieve the data security. Because why? Because the technique which will be used for encoding also, the same technique will be used for decoding purpose also. Without having the information about how encoding and decoding will be, how encoding technique will be used, we cannot able to decode the information. This can be achieved for data security purpose also. By considering all these scenarios, the proposed solution would satisfy the both biological constraint, data compression, data security, and all those things. And we will next discuss about the result analysis of the above proposed solution. In the result analysis, they have taken the 3 different images, Sydney.jpg, which has 24,301 bytes of data. Cat.jpg has 11,901 bytes of data. And Smiley consists of 5,665 bytes of data. They encoded the both 3 images with using 2 different encoding techniques. One is Huffman encoding and another one is Goldman encoding. While performing the Huffman encoding technique, they effectively recovered each and every one of the file from the sequence DNA. While in Goldman encoding technique, 1 byte error will be found in each and every images. 1 byte error could be a huge amount of error, because 1 byte error can lost the entire DNA data, and we can lost the entire data in the DNA itself. And in our proposed Huffman encoding, delimiter has been used in encoding so that data can be accessed randomly. Whereas in Goldman encoding technique, no delimiter has been used. So in that case, we have to synthesis all the data from the sequence DNA. And in Huffman encoding, data compression can also be achieved. And in Goldman, no data compression can be achieved by considering all this Goldman encoding benchmark. Our proposed solution of Huffman encoding would be better solution for encoding our digital data in the form of DNA. And in the Huffman encoding also, we can achieve the data security also without having the original tree of encoding. We can't able to recover the information in decoding process also. And and the advantages of our advantages and limitation of our proposed solution is and DNA can remain stable for very long 1,000 years also, and DNA can maintain integrity without any power supply. Whereas in our traditional data storage process, huge amount of electric power supply is required to maintain the data centers. And then also it is small set and weight make it easy to store and transport, which we can portable from one place to different another place. And DNA is less susceptible to technical failures. These are the advantages of our proposed solution for digital data storage. And the main disadvantage of the digital data, DNA digital data storage is we required a huge amount of cost implementation for the generation of artificial DNA synthesis. And data is read back at the low speed. We cannot perform the speed of the DNA synthesis and DNA sequencing at a faster rate. It is a slow process and it will take more time. And DNA is not rewritable. If we perform the sequencing and synthesis at one stage, and after the sequencing process, the DNA will be lost. It cannot be reused for encoding other data also. And DNA does not particular data in stored entire information should be decoded. But if the data is encoded if the two different data is encoded in the DNA, we cannot retrieve the only one part of the data. We should sequence the entire DNA information. From the sequenced data, from the sequenced DNA, we can retrieve the particular file, but from the DNA itself, we cannot retrieve the whole required data. And these are the disadvantages of digital data storage in DNA. And come back to conclusion part, a DNA can be potential to ultimate archival storage solution by overcoming the traditional storage purpose. It is extremely dense and durable. Thus, DNA for data storage is possible to store huge amount of data in very less size. Replication can be can be done in less time, and in large amount of data, large amount of replicate DNA can be generated. Hence, in case of data damage in one copy of the DNA, we can read the data in another copy of the DNA. And in our proposed solution, which will satisfies the both biological constraint data compression and data security purpose, and retrieving of the specified file from the sequence DNA using the delimiter usage will be better solution for by considering all those previous proposed solution. And it can achieve both insertion error, deletion error, substitution error. Since we are using Huffman tree algorithm, it will not uh, using those things we can reduce the errors also, because in encoding in Huffman coding technique, each node consists of three different children, which is combination of ATGC. And in that case, no two nucleotides are repeated, and in that case, no substitution error, deletion error, insertion error can be susceptible. And in future work, presently they are working on the synthesis of artificial DNA, but experiments are going on to store our digital data in our own human DNA, so that cost to generate the human DNA can be cost to generate the artificial DNA can be reduced. And I further references using C. Bancroft and T. Bowler paper which consists of storage of information DNA science and often coding technique for construction of minimum redundancy code and some papers for some codes for encrypting the DNA in digital format. So thank you.
ಹಲೋ ವರ್ಷಿತ್. ಹಲೋ.
Hi sir.
ವರ್ಷಿತ್, ಇವಾಗ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಇನ್ DNA.
Yes sir.
Okay, now I want to access a file randomly. On 10 files store ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೋಣ. I want to access file number 6. So exactly how I can go into that location, even considering the tree. What is the mechanism for directly going to that particular node, which will take me to maybe file number 6?
Sir, for each we are encrypting.
ಇದಾದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ. ಇನ್ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ರೀಡ್ ರೈಟ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ,
Yes sir.
ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೌ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಇನ್ ಟು ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್?
So, in that we are using the delimiter for each and indication of each and every end of the file. We must store the information like which part of DNA sequence will store the we will store the current file. In that case, we must store the information about which part of sequence you are storing the required file. This information should be stored in the separate in our traditional.
ಓಕೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಚ್ DNA strand is storing what type of what file ಅಂತ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟಾಡೇಟಾ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೀವು.
ಸರ್ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಮೆಟಾಡೇಟಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಥರ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ
ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ. ನಿಮ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ
ಸರ್?
ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ
ಸರ್. ಈ ಪ್ರೊಪಲ್ಲಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಡೈಲಿ ಮೀಟರ್ ಯೂಸೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಮೆಟಾಡೇಟಾ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಥರ ಇನ್ನೂ ಯಾವುದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಥರ ಇದ್ರೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೈಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನೇನು ಫೈಲ್ 1 ಫೈಲ್ 2 ಫೈಲ್ 3 ಆ ಥರ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಫೈಲ್ 20 ತಗೋತೀನಿ, ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಫೈಲ್ 100 ತಗೋತೀನಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಅ ಫೈಲ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ, ಹೌ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಆರ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಯಾವುದೋ ಹಫ್ಮನ್ ಟ್ರೀ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನೀವೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ.
ಸರಿ, ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಹಫ್ಮನ್ ಟ್ರೀ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ತರ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಫೈಲ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಯಾವುದು ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಯಾವುದು ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ.
ಇರುತ್ತೆ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸ್ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಇಂದ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿಂದ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಒಂದು ಪೇಪರ್ ತಗೋತೀರಾ, ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಎಂಡ್ವರೆಗೂ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಒನ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಪೇಪರ್. ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಡೈವರ್ಸ್ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಇಂದ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು
ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎರರ್ ಓವರ್ಕಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಪೇಪರ್ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ, ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. ಡನ್ ಗುಡ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಇನ್ನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತು ನೀವು ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ಡೀಪ್ ಡೈವ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಟಾಪಿಕ್. ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಜಸ್ಟ್ 1-2 ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಮೈ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟಬಲ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, 100 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೋರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕಲಿ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ which are major issues.
Yes sir.
Anyhow, your preparation was good. ನೀವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. It was good. Presentation ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ.
Yes sir, thank you.
Okay ವರ್ಷಿತ್.
ಓಕೆ, ವರ್ಷಿತ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರು?
ನಮ್ ಸಂದೇಶ್ ಗಿರಿ.
ಅಲ್ಲ,
ನಾನು
ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ.
ಸಂದೇಶ್.
ಇದೇ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಇದೇ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್,
ಸರಿ.
ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಹಾ, ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ಹಾ, ಮಾಡಿ.
ಯಾರು ಸಂದೇಶ್ ಗಿರಿನಾ?
ಎಸ್
ಹಾ,
ಸರ್,
ಸಂದೇಶ್.
ಸಂದೇಶ್.
ಸರಿ ಸಂದೇಶ್, 40 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 30 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ 5-10 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನರೀಸ್. ಓಕೆನಾ?
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಸರಿಪ್ಪ, ಆಯ್ತು, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಂದೇಶ್.
ಸೊ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. So my topic is two-way image based captcha. So we'll continue with the introduction.
ಸಂದೇಶ್, ಇದು
Start
ಆಡಿಬಲ್
ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡಿ.
So introduction is captcha threads callback. So what they used to protect web applications. ಸರ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತೀಯ ಸರ್ ಈಗ?
ಇವಾಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ
Hello.
ಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು ತುಂಬಾ ಮಧ್ಯ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್. ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಸಂದೇಶ್, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ.
Okay sir. CAPTCHA is a technology used to protect web applications from one of the malicious threat called bots. So what these bots do is they slow down web applications. So CAPTCHA's primary goal is to avail web services only to legitimate users and therefore forcing effective usage of web services. CAPTCHA refers to the abbreviation of CAPTCHA is completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and human apart. So the basic work of CAPTCHA is to CAPTCHA differentiates between human and the robot users. So hackers, what they do is they implement bot to log into the webs and slow down web applications. Generally, CAPTCHA methods are designed to incorporate invariant recognition, segmentation, and parsing ability to successfully identify human user. Most online web services provide CAPTCHA's primary activity to avail utilities from respective application to differentiate human users from software programmed robots. CAPTCHA. So in CAPTCHA there are three types: text-based CAPTCHA, image-based CAPTCHA, and audio-based CAPTCHA. So text-based CAPTCHA was the first CAPTCHA developed in 1997. The first CAPTCHA was termed and it was text-based. In a text-based, a blurred text will appear, and we have to type that text in the box, and it will authenticate us. The next is image-based CAPTCHA. As you can see, it is saying select all the images with an orange. So you have to select the images with oranges in it, and it will verify us. And audio-based images are basically for like blind people or who are impaired eyes. You can hear the text and have to type that. So literature survey. We have done a literature survey, 6 papers. First one is random image matching CAPTCHA system. In a random image matching CAPTCHA system, they have introduced a visual CAPTCHA system in which computer generates a random images and user has to match feature point in both the images. So there will be two similar images. We have to match the feature points of the images. I'll show the example in the next slides. Matching 2 points of 2 images of the same scene in the individual and is natural and trivial task for human, but extremely complex for software robots. As you can see in the first images, there is a chair and mat. Image A and image B is the point A and point B. So the point A is the mat and the point B is that chair. We have to match these image points to verify captcha. So second paper is a literature survey, pedometric captcha for mobile internet users. In pedometric captcha, it's basically for mobile users, mobile internet users. So what this paper has described is they have designed a mobile device specific pedometric captcha system. In this system, the user has to walk minimum 5 steps. This system identifies the movement of the user, and if users takes 5 steps or whatever how many steps they are mentioned, then it will be authenticated. Any captcha scheme has to be necessarily easy for human and equally difficult for bots. So this captcha is applicable only for mobile devices and the person is also under movement. So in this pedometric captcha for mobile internet users, bots cannot move from one place to another place. So it is like security, and we have to move number of steps that's mentioned in the captcha. Next is exploiting the human and machine gap in image recognition for designing captchas. They have proposed image-based captcha in which different control distortions are applied to image. In this system, what they have done is they have distorted the image, like they have blurred the image, like we can barely see the object in the image, so that we can we as human can easily identify the object in the image, but bots cannot identify that. As you can see, first you need to walk 5 steps in order to sign in. So 5 steps, after walking 5 steps, we can log into the system. Next is the distorted images. In this distorted image, you can see that they have cat, pyramid, moth, dog. We have to select fruit to log into the system. The next is a multi-biometric based captcha for improved online security. In this multi-biometric system, what they do is, and they put face, fingerprints, and eyes. We have to click on the whatever they mentioned in the system. The next one is development of captcha system based on puzzles. We have to wait. You can see in this example, there is a flower and we have to rearrange that boxes to make it a flower, and then we can log into the web application. So that is the type of captcha. Here you can see the faces of the some black people and eyes are also there. We have to identify that. So provide a good mechanism of this puzzle based system provides a good mechanism for testing and authentication, provides an easy and simple testing for the user, but then it can authenticate the user as a human or bot. An image based captcha is a scheme exploiting human appearance characteristics. This presents an image based captcha scheme using easily identifiable human characteristics. And these results reveal that the proposed challenge is not time consuming as user solves using mouse instead of typing, which could lead to misspelling or error caused by synonyms. As you can see in the third picture, there is a female. So we have to select the, like in gender, we have to select female and hair type, long hair color, brown or golden, and ethnicity. We can all select that. As human, we know what is in there, the picture, but bots can't differentiate that. So this technique is also useful. So now methodology. This is the proposed system we are going to talk about. A novel two-way image-based capture system. In this, what two-way image-based capture means, there will be two sets of images. In the two sets of images, we have to point out the same images, same objects. So a two-way novel-based capture is proposed to prevent bots from gaining access to online web service. The workflow have two steps to gain access to web sources: authentication phase and capture phase. As we all know, when we have to log into a web application, first we have to authenticate, enter email ID and password, and just login, and it goes to captcha phase. And we have to select similar images to login. This is the workflow. Next is the architecture. First, image database, random image place module, website, and captcha protected web page. So nowadays all the websites are protected with captcha. So the step one is user logs in name and password and hits the login button. That's common for all that. And user gets directed to captcha page and is promoted to identify the correct images and matching objects from two sets of images. Matching images are displayed at random location in both the grids. User must select two images from each of the sets and click on submit button. If the user has clicked the correct matching images, then he can successfully utilize the expected online web services. Here, food website is used for testing process. So here is the flow chart of how the authentication phase and human user phase goes on. First email ID is entered and password is entered. If both are correct, then login and captcha imagery will be displayed. Here we have to select the correct images, then user selection, then login. If it fails and it will go back to the email part, then if success, it will let you in the website. So high definition images of objects like animal, electronic gadgets, environment, and many such which are easily identifiable by human are placed in each cells of both the grids. The random image placement function is implemented using hypertext PSP. PSP scripting is used to perform users session activities. Two-way image-based captcha framework is partitioned into two equal halves. Both partition comprise a grid with 9 cells each. The user succeeds in qualifying the test only if the selected objects from both the images match. The user must solve the test by matching images of similar objects from both the grids. Internally, the matching of the image is carried out using the comparison algorithm. In comparison algorithm, we have different types like comparison sort and image matching. By using these techniques, comparison sort and image matching internally, the images will be matched. The images are loaded from the image database into division tags in HTML. If the user ticks the correct checkbox pertaining to similar objects, the image comparator validates the user as human actor. Okay. So this is the example of a two-way captcha system. Here you can see there are two sets of images and there are little checkbox alongside the images. We have to select the images similar objects in the both the images. There are only one similar object, that is aeroplane, and all the images are different. Car is different from vehicle, and camera is different from mobile phone. So we have to select aeroplane for to login. So this will be authenticated by internally by comparison algorithm, which will use the image matching technique. So result analysis. The image comparison gives either success or failure result, which is displayed as a notification message. Once a selection is found to be successful, then the user is directed to next page. That is respective web portal on clicking the login button. Uh, as I said, there are three types of captchas. There is text-based, image-based, and audio-based. In our project, in our paper, what we have done is we have taken image-based captchas. There are a lot of image-based captchas. We have seen in literature survey also. There is a puzzle also is image-based captcha in which we have to rearrange the parts of the puzzle to get a full image. And it's like next is the distorted image. The image will be distorted and we can barely see the objects in the image, and that is difficult for robots or bots or programmed software bots to access that kind of thing. And the next is audio based is not it's we can we can easily overtake or hack it by using AI or some other technique. And audio based is not developed further. So the another thing is that the text based is easily traced by or overcome by bots. Bots have learned to bots have learned and hackers have grown to overcome the text based captcha. So in the recent trends is using image based captcha. In image based captcha, the two-way image based captcha is the recent trend where we have two grids of images. In each grid there will be 9 objects, like 9 cells. As you can see, there are 9 objects in the each grid image, and we have to select the similar image from each side. There will be only one similar object in both the grid. If we somehow pick a wrong image, it will go back to the starting phase, and we have to again log in with our email ID and password. So we have to select the grid with the aeroplane, and that will authenticate us into the web page. So in case of a failure, the page reverts to the initial user authentication page. and the procedure continues. An experimental investigation is conducted to calculate the ease of use and measure the convenience of our proposed CAPTCHA framework. When, as I said, if I select wrong images or in case of a failure, the page reverts to the initial user authentication phase, where that is the email part, and the procedure continues, and we have to again type in the email and password, and again we have to go through all the phases. An experimental investigation is conducted to calculate the ease of the user and measure the convenience of our proposed CAPTCHA system. So in the investigation, 10 volunteers were chosen randomly or included. The volunteers are students of age between 23 and 26, also from diverse major and district ranks. Like they were not all the students were not of computer science or information science. They were from different branches. Each user was asked to understand 10 CAPTCHA issues. And for each test, the time is taken by the user to pick one object in the subject image. As you can see, in the previous image, by looking at it, within a second we cannot identify the two similar objects. We have to look at it after at least for 5 to 6 seconds to see that there is a similar object called aeroplane. Then we can conclude that. So each user was asked to understand 10 CAPTCHA issues. For each test, the time is taken by the user to pick one object in the subject image and its contrasting match in the parallel arrangement in the arrangement set is recorded. The user can make up to 3 primers beforehand, demonstrating another course of action of images. Because of the continuous examination, recorded the average response time as 9.36 seconds for the 10 volunteer. So before the failure logs in, we have 3 attempts at this. We have to pick the similar objects in both the image sets. The algorithm requires the user to identify only the patterns involved in the image and does not require to identify either the color or the minute details of the image. If we consider the pattern or the minute details, we cannot identify the image. As you can see, in the first image set, the pattern of the aeroplane is different, and in second image set, the pattern of the aeroplane is different from the other. So we cannot distinguish in the match it in the basis of pattern or color. We have to match it in the basis of image and does not require to identify either the color or minute details of the images. Hence, the proposed algorithm is more suitable for users with visual impairment as well as colorblind users. So, even if the person is colorblind, he can easily choose or select the images in both the set. As it does not matter which color he is chosen, because the only matters is the object in which the object is chosen. Advantages and disadvantages. Differentiate human computers. It differentiates between humans and computers. As I said, the main objective of CAPTCHA is to keep the bots away from the websites and allow the authentic users to log in. Increases the security. When compared to text-based CAPTCHA and audio-based CAPTCHA, image-based CAPTCHA is more secured and it's more integrity. Reduces spams, blocks automated increased use of services, it blocks the bots away from the web services, makes online activity safer. The disadvantages of the proposed system is it is time consuming to decipher. As you can see, there were 9 objects in both the images. We have to select one single object from both the images, so it will be a little bit time consuming. Like it takes at least as I said, 10 seconds to see in both the image sets which of the object is same. That's the one disadvantage. Technical difficulties with certain internet browser. As image-based CAPTCHA, it requires does not lots of browser does not allow image-based CAPTCHA. They allow only text-based CAPTCHA. As you can see in our V2 results also, there will be text-based CAPTCHA. When we go on to check on V2 result, when we type our USN, there will be a text-based CAPTCHA, not image-based CAPTCHA. So another disadvantage is may greatly enhance artificial intelligence, not a foolproof remedy against bots. Applications. There are 6 applications: online polls, like a pre-email services, search engines like Google, email, and that prevention to worms and spams, preventing dictionary attacks, news group, blogs. Conclusion. Exhibited a novel image-based CAPTCHA, a way to deal with the fundamental shortcomings of CAPTCHA. As I said, text-based CAPTCHA it was a world trend. Now, as the internet has developed and as the hackers have developed and learned more, we have to come up with new ideas and new trends to tackle those problems and those issues. So, image-based CAPTCHA is it's more secure than a text-based CAPTCHA. Primary favorable feature of our proposal is that it depends on image coordinating methodology. It is depends on image coordinating. We have to choose images, not just type text. The image positions are arbitrarily created, and image placement detection and analysis are hard and cannot be effectively anticipated by the software robots. The image position are arbitrarily created. Image position in the both the sets, the images are randomly placed, not like order-wise placed. And image placement detection analysis are hard and cannot be effectively anticipated by the software robot. The robots cannot anticipate or they cannot guess that these are objects are similar in both the grids. So this is a reference paper. That's it.
Okay.
Hello.
Sandesh Giri.
Yes sir.
Okay. Sandesh Giri, audible ಇದೆಯಾ?
Yes sir, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? Okay.
Yes sir, yes sir.
From the very first slide, introduction ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ.
Yes sir.
Coming to the literature survey, ಬರೀ 3 ಪೇಪರ್ ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಲ್ಲ, ಏನ್ ರೀಸನ್? ಓನ್ಲಿ 3 ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್?
No sir, 6 paper sir.
3 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ ಬರೀ 3 ಅಲ್ವಾ?
No sir, 6. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್.
ನೋಡಿ ಲಿಟರೇಚರ್ ಸರ್ವೆ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Yes sir.
6. ಓಕೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್, ನೀವೇನು ಇಯರ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಯರ್ ಏನು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಯಾವ ಇಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು? ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕ್ರೂಷಿಯಲ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಫಾರ್ ದ ರಿವ್ಯೂವರ್ಸ್.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ನೀವು ಮೆಥಡಾಲಜಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ತರ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾನ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಿಮ್ದೇನು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾನ ಹೇಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್. ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಅ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರಿ ನೀವು, ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಇಂಟು ದ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೌ ಅ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾ ಇಸ್ ಜನರೇಟೆಡ್, ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ರೋಬಸ್ಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಬಾಟ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಬಾಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾನ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದರ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ರೋಬಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು, ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾನ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನೀವು ಬರೀ ನಿಮ್ದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಂಫಸಿಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. But ಏನಂದ್ರೆ that should be part of the discussion. That should not be the main discussion. ಅದು ಒನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಎರಡನೇದು, ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಏನು ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಡೀಲಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾ ನೀವು 10 years ಇಂದನೂ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಆದಾಗೆ ಹೊಸ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್, ಹೊಸ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ?
ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್.
ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅದು. ಓಕೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾ ಜೊತೆ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನೋ ಲೇಯರ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹಲೋ ಸಂದೇಶ್, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೀನಪ್ಪ?
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ಹಲೋ, ಅದೇನೆ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್, ಅದು ನೀವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಿರೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾ ಏನು ಹೊಸ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್, ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿಟೀಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಓವರ್ಕಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಸರ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಹೊಸ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಈಗ ನೀವು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಬಾಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ನೀವು ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಎವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆದಾಗೆ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಬಾಟ್ಸ್ ಎವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಟು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾ. ಅದನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನ ಓವರ್ಕಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನೋ ಹೊಸದು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್
ಅದೇ ಸರ್
ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್.
ಫಸ್ಟ್
ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನೇ
ಲೈಕ್
ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್
ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ನೀವು ಟೈಟಲ್ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು.
ಲೈಕ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ
ಹ್ಮ್.
ಓವರ್ಕಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಲೈಕ್ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ
ಹ್ಮ್.
ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಬೋಟ್ಸ್ ಓವರ್ಕಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಇಮೇಜ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ 2-way ಇಮೇಜ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ,
ಸೊ
ಇಮೇಜ್
ಹಾಗೆ
ಬಂದು ಅಲ್ಲ ಸಂದೇಶ್ ಗಿರಿ, ಇಮೇಜ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಬಂದು ಸುಮಾರು ವರ್ಷ
Yes, sir.
ಆಯ್ತು. ನೀವೇ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್
ಬೇಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಯಾವಾಗ
ಸುಮಾರು ಸರ್.
ಇಮೇಜ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 10 ಇಯರ್ಸ್
Yes, sir,
ಆಗಿದೆ
ಸುಮಾರು
ಇಮೇಜ್
ಸರ್.
ಬೇಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಬಂದು, ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್, ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ 2020 ಇದು ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳಿ ಸಂದೇಶ್.
ಸರ್
ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಏನ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದೆ ವಿತ್ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ರಿಸರ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ಇನೋವೇಟಿವ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ಸ್, ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರೋದು ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ತು.
ಸರ್
ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ನಂದು ನಿಮ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್, ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್. ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ನೀವೇನೋ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ, ಯಾರೋ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್
ನೋ
ಯೂಸ್
ಸರ್.
ಮಾಡಿ ಅಥೆಂಟಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶಾಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತು. ಯಾರೋ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ ಅಥೆಂಟಿಕೇಶನ್, ಅದನ್ನ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಇತ್ತು. ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಿ, ಆಯ್ತು, you put some efforts and definitely it will be appreciated, but still you were expected to go in detail into the actual captcha mechanism, its real time issues and how it is being addressed at this point of time. ಇವಾಗ 2020
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಿ, ಆಯ್ತು, ಓಕೆ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ನಿನ್ನೆ ರಜತ್ ಆದಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವೇನ್ರಿ? ಮೆಥಡಾಲಜಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅದು ಮೆಥಡಾಲಜಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಐತಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಸರಿ, ಆಯ್ತು.
ಓಕೆ.